scoreboard has been an integral part of the education position. How do you plan to utilize it to make the most out of your term?
I think first of all that comes in the cultivation of my scoreboard. I want to make sure that, as I mentioned in my speech, it's broad, that we can have a lot of people that are very active in their academics and that also cover all the different phases you might be in your college experience, whether you're a grad student, an undergrad student, a first year, second year, what college you're in, and maybe if you're even like a first generation student, So I think one, just making sure our board follows our Katipunan clause and is very inclusive and well represented of those that might not have much resources in other facilities. Furthermore, I would want our SOAR board to be able to hold events and workshops where they could, you could just sit around and tutor. I know that like other organizations and other facilities at SDSU have just people that sit around, have like office hours as tutors basically. And I think if we could set up time zones that I could share with the GBM and the EBMers about when people in certain colleges and in certain positions can be readily available so that they could use them as a resource that is continuous and reliable. I think our SOAR could be a great addition, or highly more focused addition to Samahan.
Education is an extremely wide topic, and an academic year is not long enough to cover everything under that umbrella. How will you decide what education should be given to our general body and what is okay to forego?
I think mostly I don't, as education I'm kind of working with a lot of other people, specifically our other pillars, but I think I also would just like to take a step back. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't think it's really necessary for me to repeat information that people might be learning from other sources. Instead, I think it would be more important for me to collaborate with those sources to get what they want across. As far as education alone, I think something that could be more important for us to focus on, and something that we don't necessarily get educated on a lot, is soft skills that we don't necessarily just learn in a class, things that aren't as straight academic. So things like my ideas for workshops include interview skills and resume building and things like that, or even just introducing people to education. I'm a big book reader. If you guys don't know, I'm planning on reading 30 books this year. I'm at 18 right now. Or not 18, 10 right now. Sorry, I'm a liar, guys. But no. But so maybe setting people up with getting more into their education and more broad in their education. I know one of my greatest fears going into college was that I had to pick something and that's all I had to do for the rest of my life. And so I think being an avenue for people to broaden how they educate themselves and what topics they choose to educate themselves on would be something that I would really want to encourage specializing in as an educator.
All right, your audience question. High school conference is this position's largest event. What are some ideas you have to provide the most value, educational, professional, entertainment to the students and volunteers who attend?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
High school conference is this position's largest event. What are some ideas you have to provide the most value, educational, professional, entertainment, to the students and volunteers who attend?
I think the most important thing with HSC, and something that I admire Jazz for doing this HSC, was including a lot of active engagement with our audience members and with our participants. Something I liked a lot, and some feedback I had heard about HSC, was that not only the students were learning, but also us as college students, we're learning how to regulate groups, how to manage, recreations and things like that. And so I think focusing not just on educating the students, but also on educating ourselves, especially making sure we're knowledgeable about high school and higher education. I think also, or switching perspectives, focusing more on the students, on the high schoolers, I think it is important to make sure that they are very active in a high school conference. I know a big issue I had with being a high schooler and being introduced to higher education was the fact that I constantly kind of felt like I was out of the conversation. Like it was yeah, you're going to college, this is what you should be doing, instead of why I want to go to college and what I would be gaining out of college. It was kind of these are the things that you have to do, and so I think including them more in the conversation, and I obviously want to have our high school conference be well organized, but kind of being able to go off our plan a little bit and being comfortable and flexible with letting them steer how we direct our HSC. I think that's a good way to make sure that they're getting the best out of this experience.